I'm excited to have a feature article in the magazine Women with Vision. If you click on features, you're never too young or too old to have a plan. Just scroll down. My 10-year-old self, hands on hips, stood in front of the white louvered bedroom closet, the door wide open. It could be big enough. Wrapping my arms around the dress-up clothes, I lifted the hangers off the bar and dumped them in another closet. The small desk was harder to transfer. I slid it across the pink carpet, turning it to fit into the closet. I straightened it for a perfect fit, picked up a white wooden chair and heaved it over the desk. Next, I lay on the desk, swung my feet over, and landed on the other side. Standing, I stretched across the desk until my fingers reached between the slats, and I pulled the door shut. The sun striped my desk like a zebra. I reached overhead for the string and turned on the light. Sitting in the chair, I proclaimed, "There, I have my own office now." From the drawer, I pulled out one of Dad's black and white composition books and a pen. Inside, I wrote my business plan for dress-up birthday parties. "Why'd you go so overboard with the gift?" the birthday child's mom asked me. 20 years later, and I had just given an elaborate, handcrafted, sunken treasure chest filled with corals and coins, an eye patch and an earring, and flags and fortunes for a 3-year-old's party. It had been years since I thought of that day in the closet when I hatched my plan to create children's themed parties. I'd been too busy being a real estate agent, fixing and flipping homes, and selling ice for igloos and seashells by the seashore. The next day, I started Princess and Pirate parties. My business plan succeeded beyond my child's mind could conceive. I trademarked the company name and had Cinderellas and Snow Whites working for me all over the country. I combined the Disney princesses before Disney did, putting together treasure chests for mail order parties worldwide. I heard of stories of cease and desist letters going out to businesses advertising Cinderella at your birthday party. None came to me. I grew large enough to transition from homemade to licensed costumes. I became the largest buyer of Halloween costumes during the off seasons, for pennies on the dollar, no less. Like raising children, my business grew until it was time to move on and for me to have an empty nest. I retired at 50 years old and made a fresh start in Florida. My father also retired at 50 and moved to Florida, then unretired himself before he reached age 60. I had 10 years to decide what to do next. Now what? I didn't have a 20-year-old business plan to rely on this time. Or did I? I'd never thought about it, but I realized my experience in real estate, including the vacation rental that precipitated our move to Florida, and my financial savvy from the early days of juggling money from Peter to pay Paul to run a successful international business, was the ideal skill set for a career. It was December 2020, and I was bored.